Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Clinch and I am an assistant editor here at Adam Matthew. I'm delighted to introduce Interwar Culture 1919 to 1929, which is publishing in just a few short weeks. This is a very exciting project that aims to support research into the lives, experiences and events of the very unique interwar period through the periodicals that both captured and shaped its popular consciousness. This is the first of two modules, the second of which will cover the 1930s. And it is also Adam Matthews' first ever resource consisting entirely of periodicals. These have been sourced from 5 source archives across the UK and America, the British Library, New York Public Library, the Newbury Library, Liverpool John Moores University, and magazine publisher Future plc. There are complete runs of available material within our date range, with a very small number of exceptions, only where volumes are not in a stable enough condition to be digitized or they are missing from the original archive collection. This means that we have 381 volumes presented in this module alone. This includes some incredibly well-known titles such as American Magazine, The Strand, Time and Tide, and Homes and Gardens, as well as some hidden gems previously unavailable for online research, such as Peg's Paper or The Labour Woman. In terms of study interests, this is a vastly interdisciplinary resource. The material is categorized into the 10 key research themes you see here, which aim to very broadly reflect a turbulent and dynamic decade that saw, just for example, women win the vote in the US, the formation of the BBC, the Irish War of Independence, Charles Lindbergh's non-stop flight across the Atlantic, the Prohibition Act, the first talking pictures, and, of course, the very first appearance of Mickey Mouse. There really is something for everyone in this resource, whether that's guidance on the correct clothing for a day of golfing, debate on the latest welfare laws, or the hottest gossip on your favorite movie stars. Interwar Culture is unlike any other periodical resource currently available online. It is highly browsable, with material presented as close to original reading order as possible. You can choose the browsing style that best suits your research, whether that's by periodical or by individual issues for a more granular approach. Volumes are fully sectioned as well, which allows you to jump between issues with a single click. And we also have clickable contents lists within each volume that will take you directly to your chosen article, which you can see an example of here on the right. What's more, we have a literary contributor search tool allowing you to easily search the periodicals by key authors of the decade, such as H.G. Wells, Vera Brittain, and Arthur Conan Doyle, amongst roughly 800 others. This is all designed to make the periodicals as browsable and user-friendly as possible for students and experienced researchers alike. I think it's fair to say that literature is one of the highlights of interwar culture, with periodicals targeting a very broad spectrum of audiences. Chum's Schoolgirls Weekly and The Modern Boy provide fantastic insight into children's literature of the era, while Peg's Paper and Woman's Weekly, amongst several others, exemplify the more sensationalist fiction of periodicals aimed at a more working class audience. And while The Dial addressed a more highbrow intellectual audience, titles such as Time and Tide and The Strand championed a middlebrow literary culture that became increasingly popular throughout the 20s. Finally, I would like to just leave you with some final visuals from interwar culture. I think I've already highlighted some of my favorite covers throughout these slides, but I cannot stress enough just how beautiful interwar culture is. The whole collection is a treasure trove of art and design that showcases, I think, the best of the 1920s, from beautifully illustrated front covers and photography, as you see there on the left, to advertisements and some truly stunning fashion plates.